zone out. When you watch Cody Rhodes next week on Raw, you're gonna flip the fucking channel and go do whatever the fuck you usually do on a Monday night. WWE failed. That 2.1 is nothing more than a fucking. It's nothing more than a wall, a fucking badly fucking shipped paint wall that's just coated with a fresh coat of paint, and then it's sheet paint at that, and the wall is gonna fucking deteriorate over the next couple of months.
Quite a
So WWE is, usually, these basement-pulling fucking girls on social media, and their rooms smell like shit. It's like them taking fucking Febreze. Oh, look, Ma, I cleaned my room. When the Febreze goes away in 15 fucking minutes, you're back to smelling the fucking shit that is your room. It's nothing more than a mess. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. JBL left commentary to focus on his youth charity. Thank you, Jesse. That is another great going back to what I just said about Pat Buck. Look at Jesse coming in with the facts. We don't know that man bullied Mauro Ranallo. Jesse says JBL left commentary to quote-unquote focus on his youth charity immediately after being called out for Mauro and the bullying of Mauro Ranallo. Sure he did. Sure, he flew to Jamaica because he wanted to be more involved with his youth charity. Get the fuck out of here, JBL, you fucking piece of shit. Oh my goodness. Monday Night Raw sucked. And we waited all 3 hours to find out what Roman Reigns was going to say. Ultimately, to hear him say, oh, I'll be on Friday. Watch then. I'll give you the update then on Friday. Fuck you, Bruce, and fuck you, WWE. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins reflects on his WrestleMania match with Cody Rhodes. AEW president, and this has nothing to do with WWE and Seth Rollins, but I want to throw a little factoid in there, because Tony Khan, he was asked a question about Cody Rhodes showing up on Monday Night Raw, and he obviously said whatever he needed to say and quickly moved on to the next topic. AEW president and CEO Tony Khan recently spoke to Sports Illustrated, where he said that he lost a very prominent free agent in Cody Rhodes, but is right now currently focusing on the company's newest crop of talent in Samoa Joe and Tony Storm, to name a few. He says, and I quote to Sports Illustrated, I did lose a very prominent free agent in Cody Rhodes, but we're debuting one on Dynamite this week in Samoa Joe. In the past 30 days, we've also debuted Tony Storm, who was incredible last week in her win against the Bunny, and Jeff Hardy, one of the biggest stars in wrestling. We have a lot of excitement happening here, and that is our focus. So, Tony Khan never really said anything negative there. He said, yes, I did lose a big free agent in Cody Rhodes. He called Cody Rhodes a big free agent, and he said he did lose a big free agent in Cody Rhodes. And I'll say it again, Tony Khan doesn't need Cody Rhodes. WWE, as referenced by Raw, needs Cody Rhodes, clearly. Seth Rollins, shifting gears here from TK to Seth Rollins. He shared his thoughts on WrestleMania 38 and Cody Rhodes. Speaking with the gorilla position, WWE's Seth Rollins revealed that he didn't know who his opponent was until Rhodes emerged from the stage. And I hope that's the truth. I hope that's the truth. I really do hope that's the truth. And he's not bullshitting, but he really did know in the end who his opponent would be. I think that would be, if Seth Rollins was sent out there and he had no fucking clue as to who his opponent was going to be, that would be fucking fantastic. That's the way I would want it. I'm pretty sure Rollins would probably want the same thing. But in the pro wrestling landscape, we don't really know. Especially in this type of, sport entertainment is something that is scripted. It's very tough to have something like that on that type of stage. It's not really known between either guy. Cody knew he was wrestling Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins didn't know he was wrestling Cody Rhodes. And they still put on the fucking best match of the entire WrestleMania weekend? For WWE, FTR and Briscoes have the best match all weekend for WWE's WrestleMania weekend. They were congregated in Dallas. That was the best match in Dallas all weekend. FTR and Briscoes. I bring it up. But this was the best match that occurred at WrestleMania, to me. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. The fact that they put on that type of match without Seth Rollins knowing his opponent is to show you the level of talent that both Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes are. He says this, reflecting on Cody Rhodes. And the night. I got a lot of mixed emotions about Saturday. It certainly was a moment that will live in time and history in this industry, but I lost. And losing at WrestleMania is not fun. I've been on the losing end of some very important matches at WrestleMania, and I've been on the winning side of some things as well. And losing sucks, no matter how you slice it. The moment will live forever, though. That's how I have to remember it. The moment will live forever. I always tell people those big stadium events, the ring is like the eye of the hurricane. It's very calm, maybe because it's like my Zen place. For whatever reason, it feels very calm to me. And it was very surreal watching him come down the ramp, knowing everything he's been through the past 6 years, 7 years, and everything he came back for. It was cool. It was cool to see the reaction, and I was, like, in many ways, happy for him. During the post-WrestleMania media scrum, Cody Rhodes said that his first opponent back couldn't have been anybody else but Seth Rollins. He was known as one of Dusty's kids. When Dusty Rhodes worked as a trainer at the WWE Performance Center,
Father?
Rhodes even added that he hated Dusty's kids. During the scrum, when asked about Cody's comments, Seth answered, and I quote, "To be able to be in the ring with Cody for his son's return," meaning Dusty, and really Cody did it his way. He left when he was unhappy. He did all the things that everybody said they wanted to do, and he came back a bigger star than he's ever been, and that's not easy to do. It takes a lot of hard work. He learned that from ethic, and that work ethic came from his father. For him to come back, those nice things, and say those nice things about me, it was all very good, except, the bionic elbow. Seth Rollins confronted Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw, and he shook his hand and told him, "Welcome home." They're not done by a long shot. They're not done by a long shot. I do think that they will continue in some way. At least they will be involved for the world title. I don't know what's going to happen with the world title and Roman Reigns. We'll find out tomorrow. It's going to be the big selling point of SmackDown. Is Roman Reigns going to relinquish the title? Is he going to give the WWE title back to Monday Night Raw? I don't think that's the right way to go at it. I honestly think, and you guys know me, been saying it for several years now, the brand split ending is probably what's best for WWE. Fuck the networks, fuck Fox, fuck NBCU. They don't know jack shit about what the show is. So they want separate rosters. So clearly we're not getting an ending of a brand split. I could absolutely see WWE doing something along the lines of Roman relinquishing the WWE title, having that title go back to Monday Night Raw, and we get some sort of tournament for the WWE title on Monday Night Raw. Maybe. I don't know what their plan is, but just off the top of my head, that's what I kind of have a feeling WWE's going to go out there and do on Friday night. But ending the brand split would probably be the best thing for the entirety of the show. Cody apparently is supposed to be on SmackDown. This is according to reports that came out legitimately right before I went live. Cody is supposed to be on SmackDown, but nobody knows if he's going to be used on the show. This is coming from PW Insider. WWE is bringing in several stars for SmackDown, one of them being Cody Rhodes, as he's slated to be on the show. Does Cody Rhodes confront Roman Reigns? If he's there, I can't see any other reason why he would be there. It's unclear exactly what WWE has planned for Rhodes, if he will be on the show or not be on the show. Rhodes made his return this past Saturday at WrestleMania 38 in the best match all WrestleMania against Seth Rollins, as you guys are already in the know. But I love the fact that he didn't know. And I hope that legitimately is the case, because God only knows what he was thinking, man. Those facial reactions from Seth Rollins when he saw Cody and heard Cody's theme music, he smiled, he laughed maniacally, and then he got serious. So I was wondering even when I was watching what he was thinking, because I automatically thought that he was in the know. Yeah, Vince told him, Cody's debuting, Cody's going to be your opponent, but Rollins said, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know who my opponent was until he came walking down the aisle. That's got to be an amazing fucking feeling. I wish at some point in my life I could really feel what Rollins felt in that moment. Not knowing and then getting that sense of bliss in that moment in front of 80,000 fucking people. It's got to be a big deal, man. Now, Cody cut a great promo on Monday night. A lot of people were like, oh, Cody Rhodes sounds like a pastor. Oh, Cody Rhodes, blah, blah, blah. It's the same shit that we saw on Dynamite. I thought it was great. Without Cody on Monday Night Raw, that show was the drizzling shits. So, was Cody Rhodes' promo scripted from Monday Night Raw? Well, Cody apparently was on the bump, and he talked about this promo. He was on Monday Night Raw. He made his intentions clear. The promo was about how his father was his hero, and his father's goals of becoming the WWE champion were never accomplished. He wanted to do it for his father, and he failed to give him the title himself while Dusty was still alive, but now is back, and he wants to achieve this goal to honor his father. It's a great story to tell. Very simple story to tell. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out how to book Cody Rhodes. And kudos to WWE, man. You know, I don't trust Bruce. I don't trust Vince. I don't trust John Laurinaitis. I don't trust Nick Khan. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust the company. But I gotta give them the credit that they deserve. It doesn't happen all the time, but I gotta give them the credit that they deserve. From Saturday on into Monday, Cody Rhodes and the presentation of Cody Rhodes has been absolutely spot on, grand slam perfect. Will it stay that way? I don't know. WWE likes to have the flavor of the month. Cody may be the flavor of the next 6 months. Who's to say that Cody isn't getting buried by month 7? We don't know. It's in WWE's DNA to go and do such things. We've seen it happen way too many times in the past. So I'm not really sold on it. But from what we see so far in 2 appearances, Cody Rhodes has been booked perfectly. You gotta give WWE that much, because they could have easily taken Cody Rhodes from AEW and changed something about him that would not be right. And they took everything that we saw on Dynamite and let it happen on AEW, or let it happen on WWE television from AEW television. The presentation, the American Nightmare, him cutting a promo the way he used to cut promos in AEW. Same thing. Same thing. So thumbs up for them finally doing something that made sense. So he was on the bump. I didn't watch this because I can't stand the people on the bump, man. They are so fucking rich. I can't listen to people speak in this over-the-top, joyous, happy, oh my god, everything is great. Can't listen to him. Can't listen. He says, I was just able to go out and speak in an unscripted, raw fashion and tell a story about my dad that not everybody knows. I actually have the title I spoke about, but not everybody knows that story. That was my original thing and the whole origin story on wanting to be a wrestler. So to be able to tell the world that was very special to me. He described the promo as incredibly real, from the heart, and not scripted. He said it was a good precedent to set for him regarding being back in WWE and to be a part of the team. He said he knows what he's doing with a microphone in his hand, and he doesn't need to be told what to say. That is true. But clearly, Cody Rhodes doesn't know who he works for. The micromanaging, and they think they know what is best, and fuck what the pro wrestler feels and thinks. You belong to us. You do what we want you to do. You say what we want you to say. Now, it didn't sound like that. It sounded like a Cody Rhodes promo. It sounded genuinely like Cody Rhodes, crying, talking about his father, and talking about his daughter Liberty, and talking about Randy, and him getting emotional. I even got a little teary-eyed, because I very much enjoy Cody Rhodes. But Ringside News, and their head writer over there, their head guy, Steve, over at Ringside News, who broke a lot of exclusive and is rarely wrong. When he does an exclusive, he's got some sources. He asked around about Cody Rhodes' promo on Raw this week. A member of the Raw writing team confirmed to us at Ringside News that his promo was 100% scripted. We were told here that Cody Rhodes' promo was scripted and approved by Vince on Friday. Cody had a nice long promo to start Raw this week, which I just told you about what it really went into. But it was scripted down to the pause that he took before asking, and I quote, or did it? Vince McMahon also made notes to the script about the handshake with Seth Rollins and who would extend their hand first. I think Ringside News exclusives are thumbs up. I know that they get shit on a lot, and they have a reputation from a lot of people in the community for being a site that divulges misinformation, but the exclusives have not. More times than not, they've actually come true. And more times than not, it's what we see on TV. I don't know who told them this particular piece of information. If that is the case, then somebody was really watching Cody Rhodes for the last 6 fucking years to pen a promo that sounded legitimately as if Cody Rhodes penned the promo himself. I don't believe this for a second. It may have been scripted, but it may have been written by Cody to get approved by Vince. That's what I think is the situation. I don't think that Vince McMahon wrote that promo. I don't think Bruce Pritchard wrote that promo. You know, maybe they did. Listen, maybe they did, and Cody is just so good at what he does that he made it sound like it was an unscripted promo. But I don't know if Cody signed on with WWE to be already handcuffed on night 2. Now, we all know that he's eventually going to get handcuffed, and the flavor of the month is going to go bye-bye sooner rather than later. But I don't think that really sounded like a Bruce or Vince promo. It sounded like a Cody Rhodes promo, and I honestly think Cody ended and then obviously gave it to approval to Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard. I don't know. That's the way I see it. All they did was copy and paste his other promos. Seriously. Bessie says in the chat, all they did was copy and paste his promo. It could have been something that they did. Let me go back and listen to one of Cody Rhodes' older promos about his father, and we'll just do the same thing and pawn it off on our show as if it's original. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's what they did. And maybe that's why it came off so fluently and so organic for Cody Rhodes, because it was legitimately something that they plagiarized from AEW television. But I honestly think, again, and this is one of the things about Cody coming over, do not send him out there with a script. Let him go out there and cut a promo. He's a businessman. He's a company man. He's not going to say anything off the cuff. I think Cody's one of those guys that you can genuinely trust to go out there with bullet points and have him say what he needs to say, because it's going to come off as more genuine than if anybody else said. And you don't want Cody Rhodes to come off like anybody else. That's not what is going to attract fans to what Cody Rhodes is doing. Becky Lynch. Let's switch gears here, man. Becky Lynch, she had the second best match of WrestleMania with Bianca Belair. Becky Lynch apparently has confirmed. Now, this doesn't really matter to what's going on now and what Becky Lynch is going to be doing moving forward. It could certainly be something that we see in the future, and I for sure hopefully do. But this has nothing to do with what I'm about to tell you. There's nothing to do with either person now on WWE television. Becky Lynch confirmed that WWE passed on a number of plans for her return against Bayley. They opted to wait and save her for SummerSlam. Back in July 2021, Bayley suffered a torn ACL during a training session at the Performance Center ahead of WWE's return to live touring. WWE at the time, when Bayley got hurt, she went down training, and WWE wanted all of their talent to get back into in-ring shape with a live audience. So they sent them down to the Performance Center to get more reps in. Bayley got hurt doing more reps when she was one of the people that probably did not need reps. She carried the fucking pandemic era with Sasha Banks on her back. She didn't need any reps. WWE cost Bayley more than 12 months of her career. At the time, Fightful reported that Bayley was chain wrestling as part of the training session when her knee popped. WWE apparently passed and rejected a number of pitches for Bayley at WrestleMania 37 in Tampa last year. This was before she got hurt. She got hurt in July. WrestleMania took place in Tampa in March. According to Fightful Select, Becky Lynch confirmed that there were conversations about her making a return at WrestleMania 37 to work with Bayley. Lynch wanted the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion to have her big moments, but it never came to fruition. Fightful reached out to those working in creative at the time and confirmed that there were exhaustive number of pitches to get Bayley more involved in WrestleMania. There was even a heavy push for Bayley to host a talk show. Remember her talk show, Ding Dong Hello? That did not get the okay either, and those ideas were passed on as well. There was even a pitch to get her to host the show alongside Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil. Long-term cooking, Titus O'Neil.
We are missing a clue.
I don't know why WWE did not want to include Bayley in anything.
Nothing more for us.
Bayley didn't really have much of anything
but stay
going
alert
on.
for Chain Dragons, boy.
So,
perhaps you'll uncover more.
You kind of felt that way because WWE was putting everything in Sasha and everything in Bianca, and then she kind of got put on the bench. That's not really what she deserved after carrying SmackDown Women's Division and the pandemic era on her back, and she got shit for it at WrestleMania. And everybody was looking forward to live fans in attendance, and Bayley did not get that opportunity. For Becky Lynch, and I know it would be a great match then and now, and I do think that WWE is going to revisit this at some point when they can, because both of them will be back on television at the same time this year. And I hope that Bayley gets placed on Monday Night Raw because desperately that division needs something outside of what we got. But I can understand WWE's stance on Becky Lynch. You know, who's to say Becky Lynch was going to be right for her return at WrestleMania? It may have been too soon. She might not have been able to come back after giving birth.
Upon the snow, so
WWE, they opted to say, you know what?
Beyond compare.
You may not be ready. We don't want to risk you. WrestleMania's going in front of 25,000 people on night 1 and night 2. We're gonna hold up. You're the biggest women's superstar that we got. And I honestly think we want to build a bigger stage for you, and I think it would be right to build a bigger stage for you. So instead of WrestleMania, we're going to get back to live touring. We're going to have a first full-fledged show at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's going to be 50,000 people. We're going to debut there, Becky Lynch, and we're going to play it off as if it's WrestleMania gone over, but not really be WrestleMania SummerSlam. That's why I think WWE did it. They did it because they felt like Becky Lynch debuting there would have been kind of lame, and it wouldn't have been played off as something as a big deal, because they went right back to the Thunderdome. They didn't go back to live touring until right before SummerSlam. So they didn't want Becky Lynch on TV, debuting in front of live audiences, and then Becky Lynch back, and then Becky Lynch in the Thunderdome. They didn't want that. They think very highly of Becky Lynch, and they thought better to put her at SummerSlam. The creative plans at SummerSlam were fucking dog shit, and none of it should have ever happened. SummerSlam was the right place. It was just not the right situation. WWE seems to be teasing a new heel turn for Rhea Ripley. And a new member of Edge's stable could be Tommaso Ciampa, along with Rhea Ripley. Monday night, WWE began teasing a heel turn for Rhea Ripley. As seen on Monday Night, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley lost to the women's tag team champions Sasha Banks and Naomi. After the match, Rhea Ripley walked out on her tag team partner, but they seemingly patched things up later in the show when Rhea told Liv that she was able to get a rematch on next week's show. Rhea tweeted, "I like winning. At times I get emotional, but I'm so grateful to have someone as understanding as Liv Morgan by my side. I love you." All seems well for now, but the rematch doesn't make sense. And if you've been watching wrestling as long as I have, and you're in the know by what you just see on television, you could see a heel turn coming from a mile away. And I think this is absolutely one of the best booking decisions that WWE could possibly come up with. First of all, I'm enjoying this Edge situation with him being heel. Fully ready. Talk this week after Raw where he is upset at WWE because he thinks WWE is forcing people to dislike Edge, and WWE is forcing people to dislike Becky Lynch. People dislike Becky Lynch because WWE has treated her character like complete dog shit. That's why people dislike Becky Lynch. People dislike Becky Lynch for all the wrong reasons. Edge, I don't think people really care about what Edge is doing as far as a babyface or heel is concerned. Edge is respected no matter what. Edge is loved by everybody. We just want to see Edge on television because we know Edge is not going to be on our televisions all that often. WWE in the Becky Lynch situation, yes, I think he's right on that because WWE forced a heel turn on Becky Lynch and nobody really wanted to boo Becky Lynch, and it actively really turned the fans against Becky Lynch in the wrong way. So it did bad for the overall Becky Lynch presentation and the overall Becky Lynch character. Edge, it really doesn't matter. He can play heel, he can play babyface. I'm not going to sit here and boo Edge. We want to cheer Edge because we love Edge. WWE fucked up on Becky Lynch. That's their own fucking problem. They got themselves to blame for that. Who's to blame for that? Well, look yourself in the mirror, Bruce. Becky Lynch should have never been a Conor McGregor fucking cocky heel. She always should have been the babyface that we fell in love with during her Ronda Rousey Charlotte triple threat, winning the Unified Championship at WrestleMania 35. But Rhea Ripley getting a heel turn, man. The woman has been fucking ice cold. Ice cold. The woman has absolutely been destroyed, and everything about her has been destroyed on the main roster. She lost to Charlotte, she beat Asuka, lost to Charlotte again, and WWE then pair her with Nikki Ash, who more than likely is going to be on the budget cut list whenever we get the next one. You know it's coming. He hasn't been on TV at all.
Oh, wait, I mean, one more thing.
In the darkest of fucking doldrums on Monday Night Raw. She didn't do shit. She was treated as a joke. They didn't take her seriously. WWE did not have any plans for her going into WrestleMania. They put everybody in the same fucking match just to get everybody on the fucking show. That's not
Oh, wait a minute.
good for anybody. And now WWE's got her in this other makeshift tag team. It's very easy to sell her on a heel turn because you've been in these tag teams, you've been asked to trust these people, they let you down. Edge is going to promise you fucking prosperity. Join Edge and become successful again. And there's no better guy to take advice from than Edge. This is going to work out brilliantly for Rhea Ripley. Tommaso Ciampa, the reason why we all fell in love with Tommaso Ciampa is because he's the Psycho Kid. Clearly, Edge is doing some fucking brood, Ministry of Darkness, dark cult leader, and I can see Tommaso Ciampa fitting in that as well. I can see that, absolutely. Edge, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, and Rhea Ripley. Sounds like a damn good faction to me, and you know what? It's different. Not the gimmick per se, because the gimmick is influenced by the Ministry of Darkness and the Brood, and we see these dark groups and these dark gimmicks. They're all the same. The Wyatt family, they're all the same. It's only a take on everything else that's been done. But for the longevity of a Rhea Ripley's career, and to give Tommaso Ciampa some meaning on Monday Night Raw, I love it. I love it. Tommaso Ciampa paired with Edge, Rhea Ripley paired with Edge, Damian paired with Edge. They're all lost. Priest was lost. Rhea Ripley's absolutely lost. Tommaso Ciampa isn't even on Raw yet. He's already lost. Just go in there. I love it. I think it's going to work out great for all three guys involved. Okay? See the heel turn, and I hope WWE really does go through with plans for this new foursome, this new heel faction led by Edge. Alexa Bliss. Somebody I do not want on my television, but that is not going to be a thing for long. Alexa Bliss was not in Dallas at WrestleMania or all WrestleMania weekend. PW Insider is reporting that Alexa Bliss was not in Dallas for WrestleMania week. That is unusual because WWE tends to bring the entire roster in, and even talent that is not featured on WrestleMania is still flown in. Oftentimes, the talent is not booked for pay-per-view, and they will be seen making appearances to the company, doing autographs, signings, all that stuff, scrums and press conferences. Other than that, you know, the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, everybody's usually there to experience and support the WWE Hall of Fame and hang out with each other backstage and just get the vibes and feels of WrestleMania. Former WWE star Ted DiBiase, for example, was brought in for the Hall of Fame ceremony. In January, when WWE began airing vignettes for Bliss, it was believed that she would return to action with a new gimmick and start a feud with somebody on the Raw roster. The vignettes aired for weeks, and then they were dropped. She was suddenly booked to wrestle in the Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, did not win, and has not been seen on TV since that show. PW Insider later reported that there were no WrestleMania plans for Alexa Bliss. She tweeted out the following on March 1st, and I quote, "Yeah, I don't know." That appeared to be a response to fans asking why she was not booked for Raw following her appearance at the Elimination Chamber show. At this year's WrestleMania Access, they had an Alexa's Playground set displayed and a cutout of the main roster original Alexa Bliss character. So I don't know what's going on with Bliss. She's so widely heralded as a favorite by management that I don't think this is going to be a thing for long. And I do think she will be back on TV. And I do think one of two things is going to happen. Number one, it's not going to be anything regarding SmackDown because Ronda and Charlotte are going to be the top program on SmackDown. Putting Alexa Bliss on SmackDown doesn't really do anything as far as interest is concerned in that division. I do think she's going to Monday Night Raw. I do think that she's going to end up on Monday Night Raw, and I do think that she will eventually challenge Bianca Belair for the Monday Night Raw Women's Championship. Now, that doesn't really interest me either, but Alexa Bliss as a heel is better than Alexa Bliss the babyface, and I don't give a shit about Alexa Bliss, period, but I do know that she was a damn good heel. So I could see that. And WWE dropping the angle, maybe coming up with something where, out of all those vignettes, she has reverted back to the goddess, Alexa Bliss, which I do think would be a welcome sight, because whatever the fuck she was doing with Alexa Playground and Lily is complete shit. It was nauseating, and it was trash. I could see that being a thing. The other thing is WWE hasn't really shied away from using main roster talent on NXT. Who's the NXT Women's Champion? Mandy Rose. Who was the NXT champion before Dolph Ziggler lost it to Braun Breaker on Monday night? Dolph Ziggler. So I could absolutely see WWE still using main roster talent to help get NXT to a point in the rating where they think NXT should be with the ratings. And I could absolutely see WWE bringing Alexa Bliss down because she's got nothing to do on the main roster. You got Asuka coming back, you got Bayley coming back, you got rumored call-ups happening with Raquel Gonzalez and possibly Io Shirai. We don't know what's going on with the women's division. So they got the call-ups, they got the returns. Lacey Evans is coming back. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So there will be additions to the women's division. I don't know where Alexa Bliss fits in all this. On Raw, maybe. With Bianca, maybe. But in NXT, if WWE is going to continue the path of using main roster talent on NXT, why not Alexa Bliss? She was at one point NXT. She was in NXT, didn't really do much down there. She was more of a valet for Buddy Matthews down there and his tag team with, what's his name? I forgot his fucking name. The dude that went over to Impact. I forgot their fucking names. Buddy Murphy was there in NXT. And I could see that happening now for the NXT Championship and Mandy Rose. Imagine NXT and them doing a title match with Alexa Bliss and Mandy Rose, and Alexa Bliss wins the NXT Women's Championship. I could see that absolutely being a thing. That's a lot of different fucking. That's a lot of people watching NXT to see Alexa Bliss every fight. Wesley Blake, there you go. Sorry, slipped my mind a little. Wesley Blake and Buddy Matthews. Buddy Murphy. She was the valet for them, so she's got time in NXT. I could actually see Alexa Bliss winning the NXT Women's Championship, and WWE using Alexa Bliss to generate more buzz for NXT that right now is not there. She will be back on TV. I don't think anybody that is a fan of Alexa Bliss needs to worry about that. Jerry Lawler. Quick note here, Jerry Lawler will be back on commentary next week for Monday Night Raw. This is not going to be an every week thing, though. He will be around for a couple of weeks. Corey Graves and Carmella are set to get married today in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So congratulations to the happily new married couple. On Monday's Raw, Carmella and Zelina officially split up. This is a segment where Zelina kind of hit on Corey Graves. There was a segment on Raw where Graves and Carmella had a makeout session as well. I believe that was what happened there. This is all leading to their marriage on Thursday today. And they will be on their honeymoon, which means Jerry Lawler will be filling in Corey Graves for the next couple of weeks. It could be just this week, this coming Monday. It could be the following Monday as well. So Lawler's going to be there to fill in next to Jimmy Smith and Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves will be back as a happily married man, and he'll be back in his commentary spot when his honeymoon is over. I know, I'm not a fan of modern day King, but listen, anything's better than listening to Byron Saxton. NXT notes. NXT's ratings on Tuesday. This was a post-Stand and Deliver, post-WrestleMania edition of NXT. Still in the 600,000 range, 631. 631,000 live views, up from 626, so they remain steady. And 149 demographic did a 0.14. Ranked number 23 in the cable top 150. This show was not good at all. This show was a complete fucking disaster, which was headlined by Bron Breakker and Gunther. Walter. Don't know why they gave that match away on basic television, but I said it then, I'm going to say it now. Gunther is getting called up to the main roster with Marcel Bartel, not Fabian Aichner. I don't know why. I'll get into that story in a second, but I did not like the way they wanted to do that match unadvertised, and it ended in 10 minutes. Gunther is a lot better than that. But they wanted to do the match, and they had him lose clean, because the only thing I could surmise is that they want him to lose clean on his way up to the main roster, kind of like him going out and putting over the young kid on his way out of the territory. But I don't think that match should have been booked. I don't. You could have picked anybody for Bron Breakker to beat, because the storyline at the end of NXT was Rick Steiner, his father, getting kidnapped by Joe Gacy, and now NXT management is going to give us a Bron Breakker versus Joe Gacy storyline for the NXT Championship. So Gunther was used as a stepping stone to get to Joe Gacy. But meanwhile, what I'm thinking is, Gunther should not be losing matches like that, and he should be looking strong coming up to the main roster, not losing. NXT is not good on a week-to-week basis. There's more like than there actually is to like. The like is in the town. The way the show comes off and the way the show is booked, it's Monday Night Raw 2.0. One of the reasons to like NXT is LA Knight. LA Knight is about to get called up to the main roster. LA Knight has outgrown. And according to a new report from Fightful Select, there may be 2 NXT stars headed to the main roster sooner rather than later. One of them including LA Knight. Reportedly, there's been a pitch for LA Knight to join the main roster as a managerial mouthpiece, given his impressive mic skills. As previously reported, LA Knight was in attendance at Raw back in January when he wrestled a dark match with Roderick Strong. The report also referenced a call-up for Raquel Gonzalez has also been pitched, but no details were given on when or if.
Damn, keep touching me. Nah, do what you say. Alright. Come on. Oh, my God. Bam! Oh, come on! Bam! Oh, come on, just miss me there. Come on, motherfucker. Just miss me. Okay. Oh, man.
As previously reported, LA Knight was in attendance at Raw back in January, where he wrestled a double
Bam!
match with
Oh, come on!
The report also referenced a call-up for Raquel Gonzalez has also been pitched, but no details were given
Bitch.
on when
God, oh, man!
Gonzalez won the NXT
come
Women's
on.
Tag Team titles with Dakota Kai standing
Man.
over, to only lose them a few days later.
Bam! Oh, get the fuck out of here!
Toxic attraction. I said it about Gunther when he lost to Braun Breaker. I said it about Raquel as well. Seems like in both instances on Tuesday that a call-up was in their future. LA Knight, a call-up was in their future. I said the same thing about Carmelo Hayes. He lost the North American title in that ladder match. WWE is very high on Carmelo Hayes, and the North American title is moving on to
Bam! Oh, man! Get the fuck out of here!
Cameron Grimes is defending against Solo Sikoa. That's the end of the program with Solo Sikoa. Who's to say they don't call up Carmelo Hayes either? I don't know. I don't think Carmelo Hayes is ready right now for the main roster. He's 25, 26 years old. What's the rush? What is the rush? There is no rush at all. Same thing with Braun Breaker, 26 years old. What is the rush to get Braun Breaker on the main roster? So LA Knight.
Bam! Oh, get the fuck out of here!
something down there.
Now then, that story I started earlier. It was about the Queen of the Hunt, who rejected Odin's romantic advances, causing him to vow revenge. It was put forth that the Aesir were plagued by an eagle who would steal the precious golden apples of Idun. Or I can just tell you the story later.
I see something down there. Mimir, you were in the middle of a story before.
Was I? Oh yes! Seeking revenge on Skadi the Huntress, Odin spread rumors the Aesir were plagued by an eagle. Not even the finest archer among the gods could bring it down. Odin knew that Skadi could not resist the temptation to prove herself superior, and so she joined the hunt. Skadi tracked the eagle as it flew where she alone could glide, and loosed an arrow from her unerring bow. When she collected her quarry, she found no eagle at all, but her own father, poor Thiazi, slain by his own daughter. She was overcome with grief and shame, for there is nothing nature so reviles as a child who kills their parent. You know what? I'll tell this one later.
Lemire, can you finish that story you started?
We were near the end of Skadi's tale, as the Queen of the Hunt discovered that Odin had tricked her into slaying her own father. Skadi succumbed to her fate as winter's blanket fell, holding her father as the mountain held her in an embrace to last eternity.
Well, that was sad.
Aye. There aren't many happy endings for the giants, I'm afraid.
That dragon, it's Baldur's, isn't it?
Yes.
And you brought it down to save me?
It was very heroic.
You want a beach here? Right behind you! Red! Now we can decipher those Niflheim runes. And the travel room is here too. You wanna go?
Boy, over here.
Hey, it's another treasure map.
These bones pulse with magic.
It must be Golvi. Could we just hold on to it? Maybe we'll find the rest of them.
The spirit lies to you, boy.
How would you know?
I have known many spirits. They are all liars.
This one is different. I know it.
You know very little.
Here's something I can't figure out. Odin wants to prevent Ragnarok, but the serpent's already been there and seen it. So hasn't he already failed?
Fate's a tricky thing, lad. And Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome. Remind me later to tell you about the wolves.
I have a favor to ask. Just a small... Do you remember the dagger you gave me?
The dagger stabbed into the Reaver's back? His own son killed him? Yeah, I haven't forgotten that one.
Well, I traced it to a group of Reavers that operate out of the Northree stronghold. I'd wager that's where they took their haul from Fafnir's storeroom, along with that whetstone that I could use to help you.
Another. The treasure hunt? Pointless.
Well, not if Sindri really can make us better equipment with that whetstone. Plus, the Reaver's son. He murdered his father. Hey, Sindri, we found something.
Armor piece? Oh, I hope it's a new armor piece. Ah, offerings to Tyr. These are quite rare, you know.
Why?
Well, you know Odin, not the biggest fan of Tyr. I thought he destroyed all of these. Once you retrieve the whetstone, please take utmost care while handling it. It is a priceless relic, after all. Well, that's something. Nothing to your liking, I see? Once you retrieve the whetstone, please take utmost care while handling it. It is a priceless relic, after all.
Someone who loved the Valkyries enough to do this? I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?